Welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, A Man Called Otto. So this is about Tom Hanks, who evidently loses his wife and gives up on life until some people move into the neighborhood, and he kind of meets his match with some quick-witted person, and they start to turn things around for them. So I don't know. That's all I know from just reading IMDb and seeing what they had to say there. Like I said, Tom Hanks is in 7.5 on IMDb, which is pretty awesome. 26,004 people have rated it so far. So that's a pretty solid 7.5. So let's see. I'm going to get into it, see what it's all about, give you a better idea, let you know what I think, and let you know if it's worth watching. I don't see how it can't be, but we'll see. I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits here of A Man Called Otto. No check-ins. I don't know, sometimes I just don't feel the need to do a check-in on this. So Tom Hanks recently lost his wife, and you know, he's kind of like a stickler for the rules of their little community. So he does rounds to make sure that their signs are hanging, like their parking registration signs are hanging in the rearview mirror, all that kind of stuff, and like make sure, you know, the recycling's in the right stuff. But he's not necessarily mean, but he's more structured and matter of fact, and you know, doesn't have a lot of pleasantries, doesn't, you know, kind of, he's got his way of doing things, and that's the way. But he also struggles with the loss of his wife, and you know, that shows. And so this the movie is about him, obviously, and his little community. So there's other characters in that. I said in the beginning, a new family moves in with a Mexican lady, and she starts, like, she doesn't, you know, she doesn't take his guff, you know, she fires right back. So they kind of create a little bit of a friendship. And he finds himself, and what has happened is, you know, with the loss of his, he's kind of given up a little bit. While he's still being very structured and doing all that, he's kind of given up on life, you know, to the point where he doesn't want to really live anymore. And at that point, it really reminds me of, like, Better Off Dead. If you ever seen Better Off Dead, you know, and in that movie, John Cusack kept trying to off himself. But like bad things, or things would happen for him to not do that. This kind of reminded me of that. But as he's struggling emotionally, mentally with everything, other people are coming in and out of his life, like that person who kind of need him in an off way. You know, and there's another, Malcolm is another person. He's got his old buddy that he used to be friends with. You know, there's like all this, and Jimmy is another character. Jimmy's probably the best one. But I'll say this, you know, so that's really the plot line, as you can think. People are touching his life, and you know, but he's still, you know, who he is. He's still Otto. That's your plot. Now, for the movie itself, I felt it was, I don't want to say it was long, but it felt a little bit longer because of the tone of the movie. You know, it's kind of sad and a little bit depressing. There are some spots here and there with the other characters entering in, but when you think about really what's going on with him and his life, it's like, oof, it's not very entertaining. You know, and there's not really comedy in it. You know, it's not like subtle humor that you find throughout, really. It's all, I don't know, really depressing. So it's like, I mean, it's not like a depressing, you'll cry kind of film, but to the point where you're not as interested in watching it, depending on who you are. For me, that's what it was. I wasn't super interested in staying engaged with a film that was kind of sad. Not tear sad, but, you know, melancholy, if you will. So Tom Hanks was wonderful. I liked the actress, my phone is charging. I forget the actress who played the Mexican girl from next door, and those characters. I really liked all the characters, even regardless of the acting. I liked the different characters. Jimmy was great. First, I didn't know what I thought about Jimmy, but liked him. Malcolm turned out pretty cool. You know, so they all got little side stories, which I enjoyed. But you know, Tom Hanks, of course, he's Tom Hanks. He does a great job in anything he's in. So there you go. definitely, I think, worth a watch. I think it takes place in Pennsylvania. I thought I saw a Pennsylvania license plate, but there you go. I don't know. I think one thing that I'll take away from this, because you see it, and it happens, it's not just Otto, but other people. It's like you never really know what's going on in other people's lives, right? You know, you get cut off, and my wife always says, like, when somebody cuts me off in traffic or they're speeding or stuff like that, I get angry, right? My wife's like, they probably just really have to go to the bathroom bad. So every time that happens. So it's like you think of it that way instead of getting mad at somebody or thinking about them different ways. You know, you never really truly know what's going on. So, alright. That's it. That's all I got. Hopefully I was helpful. Check it out. I don't know if it's up for an award or not, but it is 7.5. I'm a 6 or a 7 on this one. Probably more of a 6. I think it was done well. It's just the emotional side of things. Not, again, I didn't cry, but I didn't feel like I needed to either. Sometimes there's like movies where it's like, oh, you know, I don't cry, but if I did, I would be doing it right now. But this wasn't one of those. So, but it might grab people the other way, a different way. That's it. I've rambled. Thank you for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.